Hey guys, welcome to Game Jam, and today we're here to test the scatter arrow. I've got 4 testers with me: Jesus Fish, Silver Cloud, Pyromanic, and the Lamppost. Thank you guys for helping me test. It's essentially what we're trying to figure out is the best ways to do good damage. A weak shot does about 24 damage per arrow, while a strong shot does 75 damage per arrow, the same as a regular shot. The first test we did was a spread shot directly at the center of the Reinhardt, and you can see that a few extra arrows were caught by the arms. However, the prevailing theory has always been to shoot at an enemy's feet, and you'll notice that as soon as we do that, we do a lot more damage. We also tested the spread shot against the feet of both the Tracer and Genji, and you'll see here that they're killed pretty easily, and pretty much the conclusion of this video was going to be that shooting at an enemy's feet is the best way to guarantee the most bullets hitting a character. The rest of this video is dedicated to showing more test cases of the scatter shot. In this example, we were testing out shooting up against a wall behind a character to see if that was still an effective method, and as you can see, it is a very effective method if the character is big enough and they're close to a wall. However, when we try to shoot above the enemy character, you'll notice that less arrows hit and it doesn't really do that much damage. So again, the theory is you want to aim lower on the character for the chance of more bullets hitting. In this test case, we wanted to see whether shooting at a ceiling would be more likely to land headshots and therefore get a kill on this Reinhardt. However, in trying to test it, unless the ceiling is really low, you'll find that there's a lot of cases where you're just not going to deal that much damage, and shooting at the feet is more reliable. We then tried to test where we took the scatter shot and put it directly into the head of Reinhardt. What we're trying to see here is whether we'd get more damage out of shooting directly in the head or not. What you'll find is that in comparison to a regular shot in the head is going to deal the exact same damage. So shooting in the head is just not worth it with the scatter shot. You might as well save it for his feet. The rest of this video is dedicated to going through all the characters and seeing whether they'll die to a scatter shot. The Genji seem to cause a lot of problems, but as soon as we move over to Pharah, you'll see she's going to die, and a bunch of other characters will die to a scatter shot, guaranteed pretty much. McCree is dead. Reaper's going to die right now. Here comes the soldier. You think he's going to live? Nah, I don't think so. Bastion was the next character we had some trouble with. Now, as you can see in the Sentry mode, the Bastion dies. But when Bastion is standing up, for some reason I had difficulty because some of the arrows would just go through the legs of the character, and that's generally the problem. Some characters, when they stand up, the arrows will pass right through. Other characters, their legs will absorb all the hits. You'll notice in later examples I start jumping in the air, and that's because sometimes the angle will turn out to be a little bit better if I'm a little bit higher up. Ultimately, this is still just a test scenario under perfect conditions. Obviously, in real gameplay, people aren't going to be standing still letting you shoot at them. You'll see here that most of the defensive characters besides Bastion are easy kills, including Torbjorn, Widowmaker, once we get into the tanks, things get a lot harder, and pretty much none of the tanks can be killed by the scatter shot. And some characters are really difficult to hit. Notice how close I had to get to the Diva in order to do a lot of damage. If I'm shooting from further away, most of the arrows are just going to pass underneath the character. And even if I shoot like with a different angle, they'll still just bounce around and miss to the sides. We tried Roadhog as well, and even though I can get almost all the arrows to hit, it doesn't really matter because he's got so much health. Winston also takes a lot of damage, but he still survives a shot. And of course, Zarya survives too. Though again, it is fairly close, so potentially there's a way to get the damage to work. It just didn't seem like we could figure it out. And finally, the supports. If you don't want to see a massacre, turn away now. All the supports will get obliterated by the scatter shot. Mercy does not stand a chance. We kind of thought maybe it would miss because of the character model being skinnier, but that's not true. And Diva out of the tank is also vulnerable to the scatter shot. The last character that we had difficulty with was Genji, and because the character is floating up in the air, a lot of times the shots would miss. So the only way I could guarantee getting a kill was to get very, very close and aim directly underneath. However, that's not really practical. Thank you everyone for watching. We learned some interesting stuff about the scatter arrow, but thank you so much to my testers, Jesus Fish, the Lamppost, Silver Cloud, and somebody else that's running around, Pyromanic. There we go. That is it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!